Hello and welcome. This is more of a precursor to tell you a little bit what this channel is going to be all about in upcoming months, years, wherever. How long we're going to run this, that's still to be determined depending on how much of you cool guys are going to be watching this and cheering me on and telling me, hey, I need more of this information. Like one of the things that I've noticed in my personal life, and I've struggled at, I think the age of 12 already, 32, I think, right now. Yeah, probably somewhere around that age. But at the age of 12 and 10, I was already struggling with my internal self. I was struggling with how I was accompanying in the world, all these things that were going on in my world, things that were going on in school. I didn't really know where I fit in because I couldn't really understand life. I couldn't really understand how this planet was working for me or what was my goal or what was I supposed to do. But that helped me generate a curiosity to understand myself better. Let this be a fair warning for anyone trying to understand themselves better. It's going to take time. Just bear with me, live with it, enjoy the ride as it is. As I said, I'm a little bit older now, but I still don't feel like I 100% truly know myself. I still have blind spots, I still need to learn so many things, but I've learned quite some things over the years. And if you start to understand how you as a human being operate, where there's certain things and every one of us is unique, and that's absolutely beautiful. And the issue that you have to overcome as a human being is that you've been forced into a society that wants to increase the effectiveness of your shitty habits, your shitty things, like the things that you're really bad at. So I have a natural tendency to be okay with math, but less with language and, certain things, and maybe interest in certain things or focus or having proper human relationships, but all kinds of things that I might not be so good at naturally. And I have things that I'm good at naturally that come so natural that I don't even notice that they are things that I'm good at. Because do you question yourself breathing? No, I don't think so. So the most intriguing thing is there's so many courses and so many questionnaires and things you can do online to figure out, like, what kind of person are you, what kind of thing are you. The 16 personality or 22, correct me if I'm wrong, 16 or 22 personalities test is one of these things that comes up quite often, and it's free, so many people jump into it. It's based on the Myers-Briggs system, which gives you a little bit of a pointer on what kind of person could you potentially be. I would take it with a caveat. It's not 100% valid, but it gives you quite a general direction of where you want to be. Why would I take it with a little grain of salt? Is because I've done that test multiple times over the course of multiple years, sometimes for, an employer or something else. And the general direction was okay, but it gave me two different types all of a sudden over a period of time, or even if I'm doing the test in the same site. So once I got this description, I looked at more, okay, if I gave me these two people, would I be able to figure out from the descriptions that they have given what is actually what it is? So I figured out I am an INTP, which is basically a massive library of information that constantly journeying in this thing. And the speed of information that I can suck in and the speed of information that I can spew out is massive in terms of compared to many other people who have their tendencies to be better in other places. This was weird for me because I couldn't really understand this when I was younger because I didn't really utilize it for a full extent. This is one of those tests that you can do, and obviously if you go to a psychiatrist or you go to a personal development coach or you go to other things, they might be pulling you in different things. So there's many variety of tests. The personal ones that I have used is either the 16 or 22 personalities, whatever it is. Google it, you'll find it, don't worry about it. Then you have a Colby, which I see many business leaders talk about, which actually gave me a little bit more insight. Okay, this is why I don't finish certain things, and why, for example, these types of videos have been taking forever to make, is because of the fastness of implementation that came through from this Colby, but and the lack of interest of finishing actual things. And you could, for that example, push yourself to do things that you're not good at which is what society and majority of it wants to do. They want to teach you things like, hey, you're scoring A's here and you're scoring C's there, or you're scoring fives here and tens there, depending on where you live in the world. And we're going to improve the fives and the C's. We're not going to improve the A's and the tens and make them 11s or A plus 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 plus, because that's the way how education actually wants to formalize you and wants to make sure that you're a well-rounded person. That's great for academic achievement and filling in paperwork, but if you want to become a superstar, or you want to become a special, unique person that has extended his own ability to the uniqueness of what you can do. I mean, great example, which we have watched in the house multiple times, is Michael Jordan. I wouldn't want to have Michael Jordan do my accounting. If he needs to play football, maybe because of his athletic ability, but majority of the things I would ask him to do basketball, because nobody's better than him than him. Same goes for everybody else who is watching. We all have this unique capability and capacity to do certain things that nobody else can, but we have not been taught to develop that capacity because we've always been busy to run and do all kinds of crazy things. How do you create that capacity? Is by understanding what's uniquely yours, but also understanding exactly what you are or how you operate and what makes you tick, what helps you, what makes you motivated, what desires do you have, and how do you become a better person in that? Because once we do personality tests and once we figure out what are we, what spectrum are we on, what things do we like, what things do matter to us in terms of our values and our ethics, and how strong do we hold on to these things, and all kinds of things that you might learn from doing simple tests that tell you this is you. It will only help you to understand what kind of boat are you swerving on in this massive river that they call life, which, believe me, is that sometimes hurtling at rocks and sometimes it's just going down waterfalls, and there's all kinds of things this boat will do. But it helps to know if you're in a rowboat or a yacht or a sailboat or whatever boat your uniqueness is, because then you'll be able to understand, how do I steer this through the good patches of water and the rough patches of water. So we touched on the Kobe, we touched on the 16 or 22 personalities. There's another one which fleets my mind, obviously, because I'm shooting video. Why would I? And it's much more used in the corporate world. Again, looks at your values and your strengths. Again, it just undervalues for every single person who's watching. Why would I want to take time in learning myself? Is because you will be able to be better productive for somebody else. And that could be on the economic scale, relationship scale, personal scale. But it's important that you feel happy with who you are. And that comes from self-reflectiveness, understanding of how you operate, non-judgment, and being able to accept that that is you, and it's your shortcomings and your wins, and they weigh each other out, they balance each other out, and they make you the human person that you are and the beautiful person that you are. But more importantly, you have to get those in balance and build on the strengths that you naturally have. If I didn't need to teach you how to breathe, what would happen? If you were only going to do exactly what you came here to do, what would happen? And if you would go into this journey of self-reflection, self-learning, self-healing, self-feeling, would you become a better person that shines brighter to other people? And it's not to be very spiritual or hippy-dippy, but it's more, the more we understand ourselves, the more we can be of value to others, because we have more value to give from our inner self. And every single person that you know has turmoils, traumas, stuff happening in their life, shit they don't understand. Don't get me started. Every one of us has unsolved dramas that we want to get rid of and want to fix, but it's not always going to be the case. And in some cases, if we just fix and work on ourselves, we can become of value to other people just by being that rock that stands still and shows, look, we are. and this is who we are. I don't have to question who you are. I don't have to question myself. I don't have to doubt myself. I don't have to double check if I'm allowed, because I have allowed myself to do that. And that comes from having self confidence and self reliance and understanding inside your true potential who you are and allowing yourself to be that person. Probably I should give you some form of little exercise, but at the end of this, I would say take time, and that's easier said than done in a busy world where we have cell phones and all kinds of cool stuff around us all the time, and mass media, mass consumption of all kinds of things going around. And as we go back into sort of normality, we might be having fun outside again, and busy lives will start to pursue. But we want to take time every single day, preferably, to be quiet, to be still, to be with ourselves, and let our monkey mind run amok, and let it run into weird little tangents, and let it go to places where you don't know where it will go. But then also ask it questions, ask it yourself, and try to distract yourself as limited as possible with all kinds of external things. But ask yourself, what am I great at? Who do I want to be? And how do I go there? And believe me, you'll get answers. There might not be an answer that you want to have, but you'll definitely get some. I wish you a great day again. I look forward to seeing you another time.